Hey everyone, welcome to the National Trash Relay video on Valet Trash sample contract formats and which one works best, right? So in this video, we're going to kind of review a couple options that you can do for your contracts when you present them to the apartment complexes that you're, going to be pitching. So let's go ahead and dive in. The first is month to month. So month to month is a great option for clients who want to give your services a try, but necessarily aren't committed to a standard length and contract, right? So some of you have already had that experience where you go in and we're like, well, we don't really want to sign long term, or we might be thinking of selling the property or things like that where they don't really want to be locked in. So month to month gives you a good option, if you want to kind of try to still get the contract and get your foot in the door. The contract renews each month unless you've been notified of cancellation as determined in your contract legalese, right? So in that case, you'd be like, hey, we're every month it just renews until you give us, notice, and notice has to be 15 days via email or whatever it might be. Include instances of damage and resident related situations in your short-term contract. So even though it's a short-term contract, it's still going to have some of that long contract format where you're covering kind of your bases on your services provided and things that might arise while you're servicing the apartment complex. So, but month to month overall is great for people that are maybe looking to sell the complex and they want to kind of boost the ROI on something. Then that way they can go ahead and say, hey, we're also bringing in this extra month, and it's your option to cancel the contract when you bring on someone new, or like I said, to try the services out. Next one is the multi-year format. So the multi-year format is the most standard for most trash valet service companies, right? So this format actually benefits the management company and you. It's multi-year, so it locks in that pricing for the management company, so they know budget-wise what to expect going forward for multiple years. And even for you yourself as the business owner, it locks in what you can expect to be paid so that you can hire out adequately. And also at the same time, it's beneficial to you because if at any point you go to sell your business, you've got these contracts locked in, so you can use that towards your final sale price of like, hey, we've got 10 contracts locked in at this price. It puts the business valuation at this, so you owe us this amount of money because you're already coming into something that's pulling profit, not having to start from scratch. So of the multi-year formats, there's two types you could go with. A 3-year is the most standard and usually used for the first contract with any new property, whether it's a property that already has the service and you're taking over, or it's a property that's totally brand new, doesn't know what the concept is, and you're doing integration for that. Whatever that might be, that 3-year is usually locks them in, especially if you're doing integration, because then that first year you're kind of covering some of the costs to get up and running. But you make your money back up in that year 2 and 3. If you're coming in right in an apartment complex that has already been servicing, you're coming in, full charge from day one, which is great. So the 3-year is mostly used for you to get the new business on that deal. You could use a 5-year or try to if you want to, but a lot don't necessarily want to lock in 5 years. Where a 5-year might come into play is once you've already had that property for 3 years and you're coming up on your negotiation for the next contract, they could stay with a 3-year if they want and extend. Or if you offer a 5-year, we've actually seen that you can kind of build in some price reduction for them or give them the assumption that there is a discount, right? You could say, hey, we'll sign you for a 5-year, but for that first year of the new 5-year contract, we'll reduce your doorly rate, half price, but then we're charging a little bit higher in year 2 through 5. Or, hey, we'll give you the first year of the start of the 5-year contract totally free, but we're charging an even higher rate into year 2 through 5, so that you're really actually making up your money or making more money in the back end of the contract. But it looks very attractive for them and something that they would go with you on because you're offering essentially a discounted rate. Don't necessarily have to do that. We've seen that used within the industry from time to time. So it's just an option essentially to market to them quicker, to kind of get this them to sign a longer term as well, and then you can go from there. So really, that's it. It's just kind of a month to month and multi-year, 3-year and 5-year. Going into the next phase, we have the overview format here, but the overview format is really like your bid, right? So it gives a short breakdown of what the contract holds for the client, shows where the contract schedules and terms are located, Like I said, this is also known as a bid, or like it can be kind of condensed to a one-page sheet, right? They should kind of always be given with all the legalese of a contract of like, hey, we're servicing this days per week, we're charging you this per door, you're going to owe us this, and it just kind of tightens it all up with their information on the property, your information on it, things like that. So really, the main contracts are still month to month, 3-year, 5-year, and then the overview, which is just kind of to go along with it, and also can be used as the bid on a property if someone just asks for, hey, just send me over a bid, and I can take a look at it, because then it's really concise and clear what that cost is to them. So final takeaways, decide which contract is best for your client. This can kind of come about in the conversation with them, right? If they're, like I said, in a position where they don't want to be locked into the long term, or they're like, hey, we're looking to sell, and we're just kind of looking to implement amenities to show that there's more value here, it might be better for a month-to-month contract, which with a month-to-month, there's less stability on your end, but you're, no matter what, you're billing 100% from day one. So there's advantages for you on that as well, and then that could turn into the long-term contract. Choosing the month-to-month or multi-year. So multi-year, like I said, is mostly new contracts coming in, unless it's specific where they don't want something long-term. And always include an overview regardless of the contract format, right? So no matter what, just you do that one-page sheeter, whether it's bidding before you even get to that point, or in the actual contract, because then no matter what, when they go to reference everything, no one really wants to read through 10, 15, 20 pages of a contract. If you just have that one source that you can look at and go, this is my start date, this is my end date, these are the services, these are the fees, okay, we're good to go. So I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me for this video, talking about valet trash contract samples and which one to use going forward in your business. If you like what you heard, go ahead and give us a like, share us, whatever it might be. Would really appreciate it. Have a great day. Bye.